All right. So I wanted to talk about a topic that, as these videos go, I find important, and that I feel is like a message worth sharing. Um, so when it comes to the topic I'm talking about is our relationship with the world, mostly with people. I think people is what I'm really looking at when it comes to this topic. But I guess you could take what I'm saying and apply it to other things as well. But yeah, mostly I'll be talking in reference to people. So um, you see, I feel like when we go around in this world, we have a tendency. I feel like I don't know if it's a modern tendency or if it's an age-old thing, but we have a small tendency within us to view relationships with other people transactionally. It's like give and take. Many people won't settle for anything other than a 50-50 give and take. Some people will settle with like a 60-40 give and take, and some people just don't give much at all to other people. But of course there's that selfless part also within us, like there is something within us, within most people I believe, that transcends that gain based giving, like where you give in order to gain. And I'm not saying there's anything unethical about it or wrong about it or immoral about it to expect reciprocity from the other side. There's nothing wrong with that. At the same time, I feel like the response that a lot of us have when, say for example, you've been giving into this world, you're putting yourself out there, you're um, trying to do the best for the people around you, and you don't receive much in return. That happens. It's a very real thing. Now the response that many people have to this kind of situation is that they become very cold. They stop giving, and they think that that's going to help them cope with it, because you see, when you give and you don't get back, there's that sinking feeling, like you have invested in something that wasn't that hasn't paid off. You've invested in something that hasn't paid off, but the core of that discontentment is expectation. And again, it's completely understandable to expect, but at the same time, and other than expectation, is also viewing relationships as this transactional thing. I feel like the antidote to feeling down about things, about people not reciprocating as you expect them to, isn't to give less, it's to give even more than you did earlier. And I'm not saying you go and dump more of your time and effort on people who are genuinely like inconsiderate about you, or who do not like you, or who do not care for you. Of course, please manage it and don't lose your self-respect along the way, or waste your time on people who genuinely don't think well for you. But I would say that when it comes to everything, when it comes to just how you, from that moment you step outside your house and you get to wherever you're going, if you can keep a spirit of giving, if you can keep a spirit of spreading truth, spreading positivity, spreading love in this world, and leading with compassion on every step, I feel like it's just going to make you so much more lighter. Because I genuinely believe that it isn't giving other it isn't serving other people that we serve ourselves. I don't think much contentment is born out of selfishness. I don't think much contentment is built out of walled gardens. So I'd say through this video, what I'm trying to urge the viewer is that give more, expect less. So life has its way of returning all the good that you do back to you in the least expected ways. You won't see it coming, and one day it will come to you. And I feel like the typical response of giving less, of being more selfish, of being more individualistic, of not caring, being unempathetic to the world around you, I don't think that's the answer. So what I'll say is, view people not as not as commercial hotspots. We already have enough of that in our world. View people as an avenue to grow yourself and also help in growing them. If something is really destroying you, if somebody is really draining you, don't hesitate to step back and take some time for yourself, because ultimately, even if so to for the ability to be able to give, you must be able-bodied yourself, right? You must be mentally able, you must be physically able, depending on what the kind of giving you're doing. So you have to be pretty careful about maintaining your own, your personal health, your mental health, your economic health. Don't stretch beyond your means, your physical means, your mental means, your economic means. Don't stretch that too much, because if you stretch that line too much, you will soon be in a position where you can't give anything. So of course you should, be judicious on some level about how you are going to help people, or how much are you going to help people. Just don't overstretch yourself, but at the same time, don't be selfish about it either. Try and give more, because I genuinely feel that's one of the ways to feel much more lighter. That's, I feel, genuinely one of the ways to attract more positivity towards yourself. And yeah, I mean, of course, this goes without saying, don't let people use you or walk all over you. That's not what I'm advocating for. Of course, have your self-respect intact, be mindful, but if you can reduce your skepticism towards people, if you can give without expectations, I feel like that's one of those grand virtues you got to work towards. I personally have seen a lot of that, that sentiment echo through Christianity, and it's always been a very fascinating thing to read about. I'm sure other religions will have variation spins and other, maybe even duplicates of what I'm saying, but yeah, I'd say give more, expect less, and see the effect that it has on you, because I'm sure it'll be very positive. Thanks.